Hey, what's up, gang? I just making another video. I just want to let you guys know that the last two or three videos I uploaded, they were my videos. Those were like audio lectures or audio interviews that I downloaded a while back. And what everybody's familiar. I won't say everybody, but if you were a part of the Black conscious community, especially like the occult community, the metaphysical occult community, dealing with people like Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, Dilbert Blair, people like that. I'm sure you guys were familiar with Brother Panic. Now, Brother Panic, unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately, because I wouldn't say that, what Brother Panic taught, he pretty much was preparing people for the afterlife. So we all know that the brother made a transition a few weeks ago. And what I did was I had like two Brother Panic radio interviews I had downloaded. Like I downloaded these like years ago, and I had them on MP3. One of them was, of course, he was on the remix with Miss Blue. Like way back. This like long time. Maybe it was like back in 2009. I believe. Um, and around that time, and he was pretty much giving out a book list, like an occult book list, and very informational video. I don't want to say video, very informational audio interview that a lot of people need to listen to. And also, there's another one I uploaded that you can't really find it anywhere. It's from Brother Rich. If you know Brother Rich from the YouTube channel Black Magic 363. He's the one that interviewed Brother Panic because he had a radio show on Blog Talk called Underground Railroad, and he interviewed Brother Panic. So I uploaded that one on my channel, and I just uploaded those because most people have never heard those, so they deserve to be heard. So when you get a chance, listen to those, and I also uploaded a an audio lecture from the Church of Lucifer. And what's crazy about it is like it was on YouTube like years ago, but the guy who ran his that channel, he took all the videos. He took all the Greater Church of Lucifer lectures down, and thankfully I was able, with the Wayback Machine, with the Google Archive, Internet Archive, whatever, I was able to retrieve it. It was that particular audio lecture by Hope Ford, the wife of Michael W. Ford. She was going through a lot of the quotes of philosophy. And the reason why I like that audio lecture, that audio lecture really influenced me when I was like reading up on philosophy a few years ago. When I was like, reading up on Anton LaVey, I was reading up on Nietzsche, I was reading up on Ayn Rand, Machiavelli, people like that. And I just happened to I happened to listen to that particular lecture around that time, and how she was breaking down reading the quotes and stuff like that, and she was comparing the quotes from pre-Christian times to the two Christian times, and she was how she's breaking down how like in ancient times the quotes were like dealing with more of the master morality, like the good traits were about bravery, nobility, strength, and then when Christianity came on the scene, they associated good traits with being meek and humble and pious and being celibate and all this kind of stuff. That's she was pretty much breaking that down. Like the master morality and the slave morality of later-day Christianity. So I uploaded that on my channel. When you get a chance, go on my channel, listen to the audio lecture by Hope Marie Ford and Michael W. Ford, and listen to it, take notes. And I'm just so happy because I thought I would never listen to that again. But thankfully, I found it, I downloaded it, and I uploaded it on my YouTube channel. You know, and when it comes down to like philosophy, I focus a lot on philosophy. And a lot of people don't really talk about philosophy. You have a lot of people, they talk about metaphysics. You have a lot of people that talk about spells. You have a lot of people that talk about the occult. You got a lot of people that talk about conspiracies and stuff like that. But nobody really talks about like anything you can like really apply in your everyday life. Especially when it comes down to philosophy and self-help. Like I said, I'm not knocking the conspiracy people. I'm not knocking the people who talk about numerology. I'm not knocking people who talk about astrology. I'm not knocking anybody who's making videos dealing with spells and moon magic and tarot cards or whatever. All that's fine and good. That's their domain. And every now and then I'll go back to that and dabble in it a little bit. So I have really no reason to knock it. But I just making content about stuff that worked for me personally. And I tell you why, because throughout my life, I've come across a lot of conscious people who are deep into astrology, numerology, stuff like that. But their life was still in shambles. They're still poor, they're struggling, they're unemployed, they're always broke, they always have relationship problems, breakups, divorces, go to court for child support and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, these people had all this conscious knowledge dealing with like divination, stuff like that, astrology, numerology, whatever. Why is it that majority of them still have issues? Case in point, back in the 90s, when I was first getting into consciousness, this is one brother, saying he was like very heavy to astrology. Saying he's like he's probably like the first person I ever met who was like deep into astrology. You know what I'm saying? And this is like late 90s, like right after high school. And when I met him at that time, he was going through some relationship issues. He had to go to court because there's a woman who claimed that her child was his child, but it turned out it wasn't his kid, stuff like that. And, say he would go from job to job and, he never had a car back then, he never had his own place, nothing like that. And true story, last week, this is literally like last week, I ran into that same brother at Walgreens on my way to work because on my way to work I stopped at Walgreens, right? I was at the checkout and some random dude came in like he's like, hey, and I was like, hey, what's up? And that was the same brother from way back then. And kid you not, he asked me for $2 for bus fare. I'm all like, the mere fact that he asked me for bus fare, that just like back in the 90s and today, he does have a vehicle, he does have money, he does have a job, and this was like shoot, the 98, 97, 98, 99, that was like, oh my God, over 20 years, over 25 years probably. Over 25 years ago. Whatever. But I'm just like, after all this time, he never improved himself. You know what I'm saying? Don't have a job, don't have a car, begging me for $2, and you're old, and he's older than me. He's probably like in his 50s by now, either late 40s, early 50s probably. And he's in the same situation now that he was back then. And this is the same brother, you know what I'm saying? He taught me astrology and all this kind of stuff. And this is the reason why I don't really talk about metaphysics that much or the occult that much. Like I said, I'm not knocking it, but I just go on by what I see with my eyes, and I just deal with what works. You know what I'm saying? And for me personally, I'm just speaking from my personal experience. When I made a video about this. I made a video a while back, like why I don't deal with astrology anymore. And I made a point that when I let astrology go, when I cut back on doing candle magic and all this kind, stuff like that, my life improved, got better. I'm not saying that the occult stuff is holding me back. I'm just going by my experience because maybe I think there are people walking around who do need metaphysics. They do need the occult. Some people may need that, but I'm just going by from my experience. And from my personal experience, the thing that really catapulted me better in life, that made my life better, was when I got more into philosophy and, and self help. You know what I'm saying? When I got into the 40 Laws of Power, Robert Greene stuff, Dr. Jordan Peterson's material, Rollo Tomasi, even a lot of the red pill, the self help red pill, the red pill that deals with the self help, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Then when I got into crypto, stuff like that. That stuff really, especially when I started studying up on finance and money, that really helped me out. But it's all about the mindset because I put it on my blogs, and I got it from one of Dr. York's material. He was talking about like the seven planes of reality. You know how conscious people always say like the spiritual world is higher. They always make this assumption like the spirit world is the highest. You can't go beyond the spirit. But there's a chart that in one of Dr. York's old scrolls, and he was breaking down like the different planes. Of course, he had the physical plane, which is the lowest plane, and above the physical plane, you have the plane of force, and then above the plane of force, then you have the spirit, the realm of the spirit world, whatever. But above the spirit world, which is interesting how he laid it out, above the spirit world is the mental world, the mental plane. So the mental plane is above the spirit world, which is fascinating. You know what I'm saying? So then what I think of that, I'll always go back to like the Kabbalion, what talks about like or go back or talk about alchemy and stuff like that. Um, you know what I'm saying? Also, I can go back to like Carl Jung. It talks about the conscious, the subconscious and superconscious, and even I was even a member of the Rosicrucian Order, AMARC, and in a lot of stuff in their books talk about like you have the conscious, the conscious, the unconscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious, which deals with the mind and stuff like that. So I just find that like very very interesting. Now I don't want to make this video a long video. I just want to give you guys an update on why I'm dealing with more philosophy than metaphysics and occult. But if you're into that metaphysical stuff, I'm not knocking it. A lot of it is good. You know what I'm saying? But my channel is gonna be geared more toward like stuff that things you can apply to your everyday life. saying that, when you get up in the morning, brush your teeth, walk out the door, so what kind of mentality will you have dealing with the world? You know what I'm saying? I think that's more practical because, you know, people who into metaphysical stuff, they're like I won't say all of them, but most of them, their life is like still in shambles. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I gotta say for this video. But if you want to add some commentary and saying agreements, disagreements, criticisms, don't be afraid to put in the comments below. And if you want to email me, my email's below as well. And that's all I got to say. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. All right. Peace.